In this video, we'll be showing you how to execute a Fivetran sync, then refresh a dataset in Domo. Let's dive in. So we'll kick off inside of Shipyard, inside of our fleet builder here. I'm going to search for our Fivetran blueprint so that we can execute that connector sync. So I'm going to click on that blueprint. That's going to create a vessel in our fleet builder. And then also pop up the ability for you to click on our Fivetran authorization guide, as well as provide information on how to find the information that we need, the API key, API secret, and connector ID. I'm going to close that for right now, rename my vessel to execute sync, and then grab those values, the API key, API secret, as I mentioned from before, as well as the connector ID, which will be unique to each connector inside of Fivetran. So this execute sync vessel is ready to go. It's gonna start the sync inside of Fivetran. Also important for you to know, for each vessel, you can set up email notifications for an error, if an error occurs, or for completion of an on-demand run. As well as guardrails for the number of retries, the time between retries, and runtime cutoff as well. So that vessel, like I said, will kick off the sync. So now we need to create one more vessel that's going to check that sync status, so that we know the exact moment that sync is done, so that we can start our Domo refresh. So we'll rename that to check sync status, and then put in our API key and API secret again. We can leave our connector ID blank this time because we're connecting it to our execute sync, so it'll grab that from the one before. I'm going to play with the guardrails here to make that go smoother. Okay, so now our Fivetran process is complete. So we'll have our sync start with the execute sync, and then we'll check the sync status and wait for it to be done so that we can do our downstream process in Domo. So now we'll search for our Domo blueprints, and we can do refresh dataset here. So click on that to create that vessel. We'll rename that to refresh dataset, and then put in all this information that you can find in that Domo authorization guide as well. Copy and paste these values. Secrets. Our Domo instance, and then our dataset ID. And again, all this information can be found, like where to find that information can all be found in our documentation if you need help finding that information. So lastly, I'll connect those together. And then I want to rename my fleet to Fivetran Domo. And then lastly, I can click save and finish. And this is going to take us to a page telling us that the fleet has been created successfully and give us some options. We're going to go ahead and click run your fleet, which will start an on-demand run of this fleet and take us over to the fleet log page. As well as doing on-demand runs, we also have two types of triggers that you can use to start your fleet. So you can use our schedule trigger, which you can schedule based on the minute, the hour, the day, the month, or the week. And then we also have our API trigger that you can call the API that'll click off the fleet run as well. So you can see inside of our fleet log, we have a Gantt chart view here that's going to show each vessel. And if you hover over, you'll see more information about each vessel, as well as a table view down here on the bottom that's going to show the same information. So our execute sync vessel is already finished. So I can click into that, and it's going to show the output that we gave for this vessel run. So you can see the API, our inputs here, API key, API secret, as well as our connector ID. And you can see that the API information is all hidden so that we at Shipyard can't see it, as well as anyone else in your organization that's just looking at logs won't be able to see it as well. And then you can also see the information that the sync has been successfully triggered for that connector. So I'll go back to our fleet log here. You can see that check sync status is red right now. So if I click into that, well, it's rerunning now. So it was red because it went to Fivetran and asked Fivetran, hey, are you finished? And Fivetran said, no, not yet. So it's returned as an error. But then it's gonna retry until it picks up a completion. You can see that here, that Fivetran reports that the connector is not yet completed. And then you can also see that it's retrying. So it's gonna keep retrying until Fivetran either tells it that it has completed successfully or has completed with an error. So we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that vessel to finish, and then we can talk about our downstream process in Domo. Okay, we can see our check sync status has turned green now, so that means that sync has completed successfully. And so you'll see in just a moment the refresh dataset vessel that we created in Domo has kicked off now, and it's running. So it's going in the Domo, and it's starting that refresh of the Domo dataset. And so you can see that has now turned green. And if I click into that, you can see that the stream refresh for the stream is successful. So that means that the Domo refresh has started as well. So in this video, we went over how to execute a Fivetran sync. And then as soon as that sync is complete, we can start a refresh inside of Domo. If you have any questions about this solution or any other potential solution, use the link in the description to set up a time to chat with our team of data experts. You can go to shipyardapp.com to start building powerful workflows just like this for free. Want to see us tackle more solutions? Check out these related videos.